How exciting. And all this purple is showing up in the background. I'm going to fix this business right here. Yes, I'm really excited. And I think I need to adjust the light, you guys. It's been a while since I've done one of these. Oops, whoa. Break my neck here. Maybe it's a little bit too bright. All right, got the ring light on. It's adjusting. All right, guys. It's time to do the business. All right, I've been at the gym all day today. This has been fix this business here. Jeez, am I ready? So I've been giving myself some time today to just kind of like be at the gym. It's sort of my playground. And hey, everyone. And it's been a while. Thought I'd kind of rehash the same dang subjects that I always talk about, which is the intermittent fasting cray. So let's see what we got here. Hey, everyone. So it's getting dark outside, so I can barely see my screen. Maybe my screen is not bright enough. I think that's what it is. Hey, guys. Hey from the OC. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So everybody's chiming in. What up? What up, everyone? Your neck hurts in the lymph area. I don't know. You need to give me more information. If you could just do like a tagline, like my neck hurts is it my lymph nodes, we would be able to be diagnosed like in 2 seconds, but I couldn't tell you right now. Hey, everyone. So exciting to be back live on YouTube. My dang book's going to come out when it's coming out. You know you got to do this stuff right, so you guys don't be in a hurry. Oh, you're loving the channel. I'm glad. I'm glad. Definitely. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Look, there's 64 people in the chat, and there's 8 likes. If you guys like this broadcast, give it a thumbs up, because for some reason, the way the algorithms work, when you guys are showing love for the broadcast, then more people can see and learn a lot more. So if you don't mind supporting this broadcast, that would be amazing. So good to see everyone. Kombucha. No. Too many carbohydrates. Yes. Okay, guys. What? There's only 22 thumbs, 24, and 67 people. I need some stuff love up in this business with my background that I had to put up that's been in the corner of my apartment forever. Hey, guys. You liked. Thank you, Patty. Thank you. So only half that. So that must be that there are half of the people here who've never ever heard me speak before, and they're like, "All right, open up your mouth and let's get going on the intermittent fasting before we like the broadcast." North Carolina, hey guys, I got some. Yeah, Friday night. Friday night, I'm gonna do my broadcast, and then I'm gonna pull this dang background down. I'm gonna work on this book, this keto book. All right, so guys, I want to talk to you about the intermittent fasting craze. You're always listening. Hello from West Palm Beach. So on the replay, you guys will not see the comments because I'm not using my computer. If I use my computer, I could share the screen, and the replay people could actually see all the comments, but you cannot because I've been working my thing off all day long. And yeah. All right, guys. So shall we get this cracking? All right, I'm going to talk about intermittent fasting. I'm going to answer questions, and I'm out. See what we got here. Hey, from Georgia and Houston, and I'm getting fitter by the day, right? Getting fitter by the day. This is the business and all of that. Yes, at age 50. That's what's up. 50 years of age, and I'm so excited to be. Born in 1967. Okay, guys. We got El Paso, Texas. Okay, guys, I'm going to talk to you about intermittent fasting and refeeding and all that ridiculousness. Yes. And from New York. All right. Okay, guys. So I just came from the gym. And it's about 5 o'clock in the evening here in Cali. And I had my breakfast around 5:45. So you could say that I have fasted. Yes, but today was a day that I spent extra long at the gym because I've been working so hard on the deadline of the book that normally I'm home a lot earlier than today. But because I'm in a state of ketosis, right, and I wanted to do the broadcast before eating food, I actually have some food on the stove right there. I can't see any of the comments, so you guys are going to have to wait for the questions until I'm done because my screen is dark. So yeah, I forgot to brighten it so I can see the comments. But with that said, I want to explain what I've done for today, how that works as far as being keto adapted, all the misnomers on the internet, and how the intermittent fasting actually works, and how it can either hurt you or help you depending on. So I've been doing this thing, you guys know, for nearly 10 years. I don't know anyone else who's done it for nearly 10 years with no alcohol, no caffeine, no cheese, no nuts, nothing over 20 net carbs, and my carbs come from cruciferous vegetables. I've been eating 200 to 400 grams of fat for the last 10 years, and as you see, skin on point. You see that? That's keto skin, right? Black does crack. Don't get it twisted. It just doesn't crack as much. But black sags, and we can also lose the collagen under the skin. And if we ate a low-fat diet, our skin would also lose its collagen and dry out, and we would go into gluconeogenesis and taking collagen from under the skin and have a heaviness to the skin quality. So don't believe that this whole black doesn't crack, because people, all of us, age from every shade, from, you know, lighter to darker. So I've been fasting all day long, wasn't trying to fast. I'll probably do what I did today maybe 3-4 times in an entire year. And I'll explain what's going on with my body. Hey guys. Okay. So, as you guys know, I've been eating 200 to 400 grams of fat. It's crazy how I can eat a whole Kerrygold block of butter in one meal. Also, I want you guys to know that I was eating around 60 something grams, like probably 63 grams or 65 grams of protein, or maybe even higher in the beginning, and I've dropped it down to about 50 to 53 grams of protein at this point today, at the height of 5'3", and I weigh about 126 pounds. And as you can see, I can't stand when women are like, I want to get down to 110 pounds. I'm like, are you out of your mind? No, that's catabolic. That's not healthy. Right? I'm not a big person, as you guys can see. Yes, I have muscle, but I'm not like a big panda bear. So I want to explain to you guys that I'm eating 200 to 400 grams of fat, and as you can see, I'm not paper thin lean. I have no veins, as you guys see. I'm not vascular, as you guys can see. When people are doing like chicken breasts and tuna and white rice and low calorie and cycling and taking down their carbs and refeeding, you're going to see a dry effect. But you don't with somebody who's completely ketotic for a long time. Now, how ketones work is that you're not constantly producing ketones with perfect glucose between 69 and 80 milligrams per deciliter. Sometimes your blood sugar will shoot up. Women around your menstrual cycle, if you're going through a cold or a flu or any type of infection, if you don't sleep well, you will notice that your blood sugar will spike out of a ketogenic range. But what you want to do, I'm burping. Sorry, guys. I was drinking water before the broadcast. Too fast. So what you want to do is try to get your body into a homeostatic balance, right? We don't want blood sugar up here or down here. A lot of people get confused with the idea of blood sugar. They think that if they're reaching 55 milligrams per deciliter of blood sugar, that's super ketotic, when in actuality, most people are hypoglycemic with that low number. So you also must check your ketones with a blood glucometer, not a breathalyzer, nor the urine strips. They are useless. They're only for the urine strips. It's good to see if you're losing ketones in the urine, and that's it. Now, so I've been fasting all day long. What's going on with my blood sugar? Now, I'm in the broadcast. I'm really excited. I got some energy. So probably my adrenals are cranking up the adrenaline. I don't want them to crank up too much and for too long, because it'll spike my blood sugar via gluconeogenesis, right? And I'm trying to keep my body within a homeostatic balance. Now, there's 100 people in this chat and only 46 likes. What's up? Do we have a lot of newbies here today? All right, I'm going to get more into this intermittent fasting. Now, my fasted window today was break the fast, because I've been fasting all night long. I stop eating around 5:30 or 6 p.m., right? And then I'll fast all night long until about 5:30 to 6 a.m. in the morning. I don't need to fast any longer. My body needs the adrenal. It's because of the adrenal glands, right? Because the midbrain, the medulla, right, the hypothalamus pituitary gland, can sense if there's anything in the bloodstream in the sense of if you're eating something or not. If you haven't eaten anything and you get up and I start, working or going to my job or going to work out in a fasted state, the body will automatically spike. The adrenals will start to light up, right? Because the morning is catabolic, right? You have a lot of cortisol. But what we want is we don't want the adrenal glands to turn on and crank up too much, because that can be a problem with developing a blood sugar dysregulation. Blood sugar too high, then it crashes. So eating something, especially a fatty protein or fat in the morning, will stabilize my blood sugar as to not have too much of the highs or too much of the lows. That's the reason why you break the fast. So now my brain goes, oh, she's eating something, she's not starving, she's expending a bunch of energy, but she's eaten something, so I'm not going to crank up the adrenals. Okay, so then I go and it takes like 4 or 5 hours to completely empty out the whole entire stomach. So by the time I hit the gym, I'm fasted. I'm fasted, but now I'm not so much in a catabolic state as I am in the morning. Now I have the equipment, I've slept, I've had 5 REM state cycles, I wake up, I break the fast, and now the adrenals will calm down, the cortisol and all that stuff will not spike up again because I'm eating at 11 or 12 or 2, which what people try to do with the intermittent fasting. And then I've gone all day long and I'm ketotic. So I was training today. If you go to my Instagram, which is Stephanie, Ketogenic, and you will see on my stories me doing handstands for hours today. Handstand push-ups, no wall. I was doing that all and a tons of overhand pull-ups. Boom, boom, boom. So I can't see any of the comments right now. I will check the comments very soon after this explanation of my intermittent fasting day. Now, if I did this every day, eventually my body's like, you're doing too much energy output, right? And the body never is perfectly ketotic, guys. It's never perfectly ketotic. So when people freak out because the blood sugar shoots up to 98 and it's been for a week long between 69 and 81 or 82 milligrams per deciliter, and now it shoots up to 98, that makes sense if I keep working out for hours fasted. Yes? Because the body's not going to perfectly be in a ketotic state all the time. And eventually, my blood sugar is going to continue to rise if I keep fasting every day with all that energy output. If I fast, I really should take it easy. But a few times a year, or if I travel, I can use the benefits of being ketotic and burn body fat. And as you guys can see, I haven't eaten for hours and hours and hours, and I got some energy. No caffeine, all natural. That's what we want. So people are like, I only have a cup of coffee once a day. And I'm like, do you even want to have a cup of coffee? But I love the taste, I love the aroma. I'm like, okay, half the antioxidants have been killed in the roasting process. Yeah, mycotoxins, pesticides, and spiking the adrenals. So I don't have to go through any of that mess. I don't need 1 cup. I just got ketones. Now, the problem with fasting, right? The problem with intermittent fasting in terms of getting up, like eating late at night, yeah, I can't even see the chat, so it's okay. On the replay, if there's any trolls in this broadcast, nobody's going to see it on the replay. So it's all good, guys. Because I was just reading the comments right there. So if you're going to fast the traditional way, which is to stop eating around, let's say, 5, 6. Some people stop fasting by 8, and they'll go all the way till about 11, 12, 1, 2 in the afternoon. But the problem with that, and you guys know I've said this many times in other broadcasts, is that we live in the modern time. We have messed up gut flora, and the gut biome is connected to your adrenals. Like our adrenals are like all the time. If we were hunter-gatherers, we wouldn't have screwed up gut biome. We might be starving to death. I gotta check my food. Hold on, 1 sec. Check my food, make sure everything's going fine. I will be right back. Okay. And I'm back. Okay. So, no kombucha, it's too many carbohydrates. Plus, people have gut issues. People don't understand, like, we have candida overgrowth. Our hunter-gatherer ancestors and people who ate fermented foods years ago to cook out the anti-nutrients, the plant chemicals, they didn't have messed up guts like we do. They didn't have the levels of candida like we do. You guys got to stop, deconstruct, and look at things instead of just doing big trends and this person did this and I'm going to do it too. You got to go deeper down the rabbit's hole because all of us have different types of health issues and all of us do. So with that said, if you're going to fast in the traditional sense where you skip breakfast and you go until the afternoon or mid-morning to refeed, if you're not resting, you're catabolic, and that's the end of it. Done. Now some people will notice more ketones when they fast in this manner, but it's short-lived because everybody produces ketones. At night we produce ketones, but we don't necessarily use them all. It's the body's ability to be able to survive without the presence of blood sugar. It is our survival mechanism, is to run on ketones. And as you guys know, with the Inuit tribe and the Maasai and other cultures, they ate high-fat diets, and the Inuit would eat all fat for an entire year during the winter season. So decaf has benzyl chloride, and it's just good. It gives you cancer. Anyway, next. You guys get rid of the coffee. So with that said, the problem is that you guys, nobody ever knows who's in ketosis. Half y'all on the internet, or half the people out on the internet, aren't using a glucometer and measuring it constantly, their blood sugar, and writing a journal and measuring their symptoms and their sleep and their circadian rhythm. Nobody's doing that. They're walking around going like, oh my God, look how much weight I lost. I'm so ketotic. And then they start talking about it. They don't have the business. They're not muscular. Or I see guys on steroids using exogenous forms of growth hormone and steroids, and they're jacked, and they're like, yeah, I gained all this muscle on keto. I'm like, dude, your nipples are pointy. We see that you're on steroids, bro. Like, do the math. So there's a lot of confusion on the internet on who's actually in ketosis or who's not, or who's ketotic, and who's done it for a while. So I was on the internet listening to this guy saying, oh, you can't do keto for the long term because it'll damage your thyroid. I'm like, yeah, you betcha it will damage your thyroid if you do it wrong. Because people aren't adapting. They're losing muscle, they're losing a little bit of fat, and they're losing water. But they're not ketotic. And that's the problem with all the misinformation on the internet. Our bodies are inflamed. So if you fast, you must rest. If you're going to intermittent fast, do nothing. Yes, don't go out and run a sprint and hit train and power lift and CrossFit and lift heavy and, you know, kids and work and this and that and do all this stuff fasted, because that'll overstimulate your adrenals. And the problem is a lot of you guys have adrenal insufficiencies. Your cortisol is too high, or it's too low, or it's inverted. That's the reason why I'm not a proponent of fasting, even though I fasted today. But I tell you one thing, I won't fast more than today. I'm good. Because I can't push my body more than what it can handle. I also have a gut imbalance of a microbiome through antibiotics, mercury fillings, the water I drink, tons of things that damage the gut flora. So I'm always trying to protect my gut biome, which I know is connected to my adrenals. When I lift, I don't lift heavy anymore. I'm done with that. I can feel myself when I'm lifting too heavy with bicep curls. I can feel the tendons, it hurts right here because I've been lifting for so many years and I'm 50 years of age. I don't push my body more than what it can handle. But the problem is a lot of you guys don't know what your body can handle because you keep watching stuff on television, in magazines and articles, no pain, no gain, and all of this ridiculousness. You have to know how much inflammation you have in your body, the C-reactive protein, if you guys have any arthritis, gut issues, if your hormones are jacked, if your reproductive hormones are jacked. And you see people in the gym that can't gain muscle. They're super cortisol driven, even if they're young, which pushes down the testosterone via pregnenolone steal. And then you guys are going to fast on top of that? The body is dependent on glucose. It doesn't know how to use ketones efficiently, honey. That takes time. That takes time and discipline. And everybody's in a hurry. They want to get the gains. They want to get the business, right? They want to get these gains so fast that they're just like, I'm going to refeed. The reason why, listen to me. The reason why people refeed is because they feel like horrible on the week that they have low carb because they're not ketotic. They produce ketones, but they don't use them. Check their blood sugar, people who go low carb during the week and then refeed on the weekends. Check your blood sugar, because the brain's like, pick a side, because it takes months to adapt, highly adapt. So if you're flip-flopping, you develop eating disorders, your blood sugar becomes super unstable when you refeed back on the carbs. So if you're going to be ketotic, you must do it the right way, and you must do it in stages, and you must learn about your body. You must learn about if you have any thyroid issues, if you have any adrenal insufficiencies. People run around with, they go and do a standard thyroid stimulating hormone test, and the doctor's like, oh, you're fine, but you have your GP test you, which is subjective. You need a full thyroid panel, and even a full thyroid panel will not show you if your T3 is getting into the cells, because we're not that advanced as modern humans to tell if blood values and things are getting into the cell. So the reason why people are so worried about the thyroid on keto is because you guys are eating cheese, which is an inflammatory, it's the protein, people. It's the whey and casein that's for the baby cow to grow. It's not for human. I mean, it's not like quantum physics, people. It's really simple to understand. Nuts have shells because they want to survive, right? So they're high in phytic acid. People try to soak out the phytates. We've selectively bred and hybridized the shells to be thinner. And people don't understand, like a couple walnuts on a salad, like a couple times a month, fine. But people grab bags of nuts, right? High in phytic acid, omega-6, and that's what they eat. And they're like, oh my God, I eat a lot of almonds for keto, and I'm so adapted, and I lost all this weight. And then 6 months down the line, they're like, oh, I stopped doing keto. I'm like, why? Because I went through a stressful event. I'm 3,000 people deep in consultations. I hear the same thing. I can finish people's sentences before they do, because we're so predictable as modern humans. Don't fast. Do not fast. Do not use keto to try, because people who try to fast, they're trying to lose weight, but you're going to lose muscle and you're going to damage your adrenals. You're going to be more gluconeogenic. So people are like, I did intermittent fasting and it worked for me. Do you know how many times I hear that garbage? Hang out with me for a month. Let's check your blood sugar and then we'll know the truth. I'm so tired of these people yakking saying that intermittent fasting worked for them. They don't know enough about the body. They don't know enough about science. They don't know enough about how our bodies are supposed to survive. They don't know enough about salicylates, lectins, goitrogens, nightshades, the fact that we're not even eating our foods in season anymore, the fact that who knows where our meat came from. We didn't slaughter the animal. We don't know. It's just sitting there on a factory farm, on a truck, in a freezer, in our mouth. We're drinking from water bottles that have BPA, that have xenoestrogens. We're drinking crap water, and everybody thinks that they're fine when they do these stupid dietary trends. Like keto's a trend now. Keto's a trend. It's embarrassing. There's all this wrong information out there. And now we got the fitness community talking about it. And I'm like, God, I wish I could talk to some of these people to inform them more about histamine intolerance, right? Leaky gut. Do you have holes in your gut lining? Do you have hyperpermeability problems? Because if you do, your inflammation markers are too high for you to have viable ketones. And it's just stuff that's not talked about on the internet, and I don't know why. It's 1 + 1 = 2 is very clear. If you're not following a circadian rhythm, like right now, sun's going down outside. Beautiful sunset here in Cali. But I got a ring light on me, and that light's telling my brain it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's not 2. It's 5 something. So this destroys the cortisol melatonin rhythm. Why are you guys not talking about this? You're talking about fasting so you can lose weight. Keto is not about weight loss. If you, like these people say when keto is dangerous, if you cannot manage your homeostatic balance and your blood sugar over time, you will probably start damaging your cortisol rhythm and your thyroid and then your sex hormones. You will. So they're right about that. Let's not make this dietary measure a trend. Let's learn more about biology. Stop just, if keto seems easy, that's not keto. There's no different versions of keto. There's only one. You either produce viable ketones with your glucose in a ketotic range or you don't. There is no different versions of keto. I don't know why they call it keto. You either burn fat or you burn carbs. You burn blood sugar. That's it, one or the other. So if you're going to be a sugar burner, you might as well go and have sweet potato. You might as well have yellow squash and these higher content vegetables that are less cruciferous and regulate your blood sugar and eat 6 times a day to restore glycogen. Because if your glycogen is depleted and you're fasting and your blood sugar is turning into a physiological insulin resistance response, and now you're sort of diabetic doing keto because first it dropped, right? And then your ketones spiked in the first 3 weeks of trying to do this fasting ridiculousness, and then you rebound over a couple weeks. It happens. I have worked with, I don't know, 60 people who've done intermittent fasting, and they all rebound if they fast too long. So fasting is not going to get you into ketosis faster, especially if you have adrenal insufficiencies, people. People who've got thyroid problems, right? And the T3 is not getting into the cells, or the T3 is too low, or the TSH is too high or too low. These people, immediately the hair starts falling out. How do I know? Email. Constantly. Emailing me. Why is my hair falling out? Why is my hair falling out? Like, they don't even know why. And that's why I'm writing this book. Because I'm going against everyone. What I say is against every single person on the internet. There are some people that kind of match some of the things that I say, but all in all, I really go against the traditional thought. If you got adrenal insufficiency, right, and you have inverted cortisol and you don't hit REM cycles, and then you fast and go to the gym, you are catabolic. Done. How do I know? Test your blood sugar all day long. You'll see. You'll see your blood sugar's too high. And where's that blood sugar coming from? You're not eating any carbs. You're eating cruciferous. It's coming from your muscle. And that can be broken down in 3 minutes. So that's why people don't challenge me, because they're not using glucometers. They're like, oh my God, I fasted. It was fabulous for me. It was fabulous. Fabulous. I tested my blood sugar. And no, they didn't test their blood sugar. I got on a scale and I lost weight. And I'm like, did you lose muscle? Did you develop adrenal insufficiencies or physiological insulin resistance? Did your testosterone drop? Did your estrogen spike? I don't know. I just know I feel fabulous. So we got to be careful, guys. That's why I'm doing this live broadcast, and I will now take your questions. There's 124 people in the chat, and for the people that really are into keto that just didn't pop on my page, if you don't mind, give me some likes, some thumb love, so this broadcast can reach more people, so I can try to educate people. I've been doing this for a long time. You guys know I started doing this thing because my mother had a glioblastoma, which is the most aggressive brain cancer. That's why I started this. I didn't start this as a trend. Nope. When I got on the internet, there was nobody talking about keto. Nobody. Nora Gagatis, Jimmy Moore. That's it. A few other people, Jeff Bullock, Steve Finney. Now there's 5,000 people on the internet yakking about it. Nobody's strict like I am. And the reason why I'm strict is because I want to see what happens to your body when you do keto for a very long time. Do you develop heart disease? Do you develop gut problems? Do you have candida that goes out of control because you've been ketotic for so long? You have a lot of keto. Are they acidic? Do I develop ketoacidosis? No. You know what happens? Everything in my body improved, and as you guys can see, I'm 50 years of age, skin, everything, fat in the skin and the dermis layers. The only one problem from doing keto for so long is that you must mind your electrolytes. Magnesium, if I'm not careful, I can get muscle cramps and heart palps from not enough electrolytes, right? Because carbohydrate, for every 1 gram of carbs, your body holds on to 2.8 and up to 4 grams of water, and that's why people are so puffy on carbs. So when you drop the carbohydrate, you drop a lot of water, and boom, come the electrolyte problems. That is something you always have to watch, which is what Steve Finney talks about, especially with intermittent fasting. Is like, yeah, go fast and you won't have enough electrolytes. It's a problem. A lot of y'all have heart palpitations, benign, and you don't even know it. Now I'm going to take you guys in the chat. Oh, gosh, the sunset's so nice. I wish I can show you guys. It's just beautiful tonight in Cali. And I then will get off and start writing this book. Okay, so I'm reading now. Get close to the camera. Toothpaste, it could potentially, I assume. You're new to keto, okay. Difficult, confusing, eat meat, butter. No, it's not, because people eat too much meat. What you cannot eat and digest. And some people they don't have no stomach acid. They have gallbladder issues. They have peptide and enzyme problem. They can't digest the meat. It's not that simple just to eat meat. Nothing is simple. I'm sorry, I wish it was, but it's not simple. Your blood sugar should be between 69 and 80 milligrams per deciliter, yes. And your ketones must be between a 1.8 and a 3.0, and you have to feel amazing all day long and sleep amazing, otherwise you're not ketotic. For chest congestion, no medicine. No. I would do things like oregano oil. I would do oil pulling. I would do everything natural. I wouldn't touch no medicine for congested chest. You know, you have to rest and drink a lot of water and get your electrolytes in, and eat high quality food with macro and micronutrients so your immune system can fight the infection in your chest. But if you feel like an infection come on, like oil pulling with oregano oil and coconut oil, it's amazing. Amazeballs. And I don't mean big, sweaty, hanging, swinging ones that I see at the gym. I said it. Okay, so got 135 people in the chat, and if you guys want to give me some thumb love to see me do more live broadcasts, that would help out immensely. Okay, functional mushrooms. Okay, if you don't have a candida problem, great with the mushrooms. You got a candida, don't touch mushrooms. That's black and white. If you're not hungry, sometimes people have adrenal insufficiencies and they're too cortisol driven, which is also adrenaline, and adrenaline will stifle hunger. Just because you're not hungry does not mean that you're ketotic. You must get enough fat in the beginning to balance the adrenals out. It's all about the adrenals. Garlic, yes. Colds and flus. Not for everybody. Some people have histamine reaction to garlic. So you guys, everything's contextual. Can consuming too much protein convert to sugar? Yes. And then it got too long. My sister, you see 110, has diabetes, type 2. Let me see, she's killing herself. Liver dump. What do you mean liver dump? That's a strange way to, you mean liver cleanse? Thank you, Lena. Thank you. I mean, I feel good. She's saying that I look good and I feel amazing. I really do, guys. If you work out first thing in the morning, do you eat? Okay, if you work out the first thing in the morning because you don't have time, you could do things like 2 tablespoons of a fatty meat. Ground meat is really good because it's easier to digest with 2 tablespoons of fat, or 3, like 2 butter, 1 of coconut oil if you don't have histamine intolerance, and then go. Don't go fully fasted, because if you got adrenal insufficiencies, it's not good. Your adrenals will freak out. Yes, I'm 50. I'm finally 50. I'm 50 and I'm loving it. Yes, be proud of your age and be proud of your accomplishments, you guys. People are not proud enough of what they've achieved in life. They always look at what they don't have, and I'm looking at what I have at age 50, by the way. She eats 20 carbs and she has diabetes, but no, mushrooms are not the answer. She could have candida, because if she's got type 2 diabetes, that means her blood sugar's been running high, which means her gut is filled with candida. So what's her fat? What's her lifestyle like? Does she sleep? Does she have 5 REM cycles? Is she hitting deep sleep? Because if she's not, it doesn't matter. Mushrooms won't do nothing. Crohn's. Oh. I don't know that much about the medication, so I can't tell you. Sorry. Let me see here. But keto, my version of cleaning out all these things, is a really great way to start healing your large intestine. How much protein should I eat daily? I don't know if you're a guy or a girl. Okay, you're a girl. You lost 11 kilos, 50 days. Is that good? That's 11 kilos in 50 days. That's it's almost like 20 pounds in 50 days. 2 months. It's a little bit too much. Some of that was, honey, I'm sorry, some of that was water and muscle. That was not all fat. Trust. That was not all fat. Yes, I'm 50. It is the weirdest thing, guys. I still can't believe it. The time just goes... People in my age group know how fast time goes. You guys think you're going to be young forever, you're not. Like, 20 years for me feels like 2 years ago. That's how weird it is. See here, you have type 1 diabetes since 25, and you're 47. You're on an insulin pump. How should I start keto? Like anyone else. Like anyone else. You have to I would graduate your carbs down, and I would always start with high fat. I would graduate your carbs down over 5 weeks, and then I would, mind your gut, because you might have leaky gut. And I would graduate down, I'd have your fats around 200, and I'd moderate that protein. And otherwise, type 1 diabetics do keto just like everyone else. You just have to constantly check your blood sugar and make sure that your ketones aren't getting too high, and don't skip meals. Type 1s have to eat every couple of hours as to not develop any type of ketoacidosis. See, wait. You are a 22-year-old woman, 5'6", active 5 times a week, 45 grams of protein. Is that too low? How tall are you? I don't think so. I mean, I eat around 50, and I ride my bike, like I'm active all day long. Use their hair because of their thyroid, Alina. The thyroid hormone. See, what happens is people can't poop, their hair starts thinning because that just takes too much energy. And when you have adrenal insufficiencies because you're intermittent fasting, it can mess the thyroid up, and the thyroid's trying to slow you down. It's like the thyroid's like, oh, you know, you're dying, like you're running from a lion. We don't need to poop. We don't need to grow hair. It's too much energy to grow hair, so it cranks it down. And that's why people's hair fall out on keto, who've got thyroid issues or an underlying thyroid problem they weren't aware of before they started doing a ketogenic protocol. Bink. Intermittent fasting was, let me see, was my lifesaver, helped me get through the plateau. No, it didn't. Sorry, BeckFit. No, you thought it did, and you wanted it to. But unless you test your blood sugar, no. You might have been, intermittent fasting is not the best solution. It might have been the solution to help you for that small amount of time. But that's not a solution. And you got to be careful because other people want to believe that. How did you intermittent fast? Like, I would love to talk to you now to know the truth and not a blurb on my phone. Boom! That's what's up. Another person saying intermittent fasting worked for me. I don't know that. I bet you if I did a consultation with you, you'd be like, oh, I didn't think about that. Oh, that's really true. Blood glucose in the 80s, ketones at a 0.5, too low. Ketones too low. Ada, because you could not be sleeping well, because you could have inside inflammation, because your fats can be too low. Often when people have 0.5 ketones, they're not eating enough fat. Straight up. As a vegan, you can't do keto because veganism is a high-carb diet. You can't eat a bunch of nuts. I'm sorry. You can't just go on olive oil. It oxidizes. And if you've got a latex allergy, you can't just eat a bunch of avocados. You cannot do keto and just eat a bunch of plants. You need the right ratios of monosaturates and monosaturate and poly. Boom! I tried to get many vegans to adapt. Didn't work. The early morning dawns phenomenon depends on what your lifestyle is. I mean, I would go to bed really early, diaphragmatic breathe, meditate. I would freaking candles on, use blue blockers, turn off from the internet. Yo, that'll get your blood sugar down, not a problem, but nobody does that. So, you know. Seizures, is body clean toxins away from the brain? No. No. No, I don't have a hubby and kids. If I do, I've been hiding them from all those videos. To check your blood sugar? Somebody's like, how much does it cost to check your, I mean, it's $100 in a box for $16. It's cheap. That's not expensive. It's just ketones are expensive. Now I look like I'm in my 20s, but I'm in my 50s. I act like I'm in my 20s, but I'm not. I am 5'0", born 1967, before the internet. I used to ride my bicycle with the banana seat and the high handlebars with the little tassels. Listen to 70s music. That's what's up. That was the best time in my life. All you guys who missed the 70s, you just missed out. It was the best ever. You didn't have to worry about some idiot chopping your head off and kidnapping you. It was amazing. Your mom was born in 1966. Cool. Awesome. Okay, so keto is a high-fat diet. Atkins was too much protein because Dr. Atkins died before, because he was on to the whole ketones thing, right? But he didn't understand the whole biological mechanism because he died too soon, because he slipped and hit his head and developed an aneurysm. That's how he died. He did not die of a heart attack, FYI. Maybe I'll be on a TV show. I don't know. Right now, it's all stuff. I do everything myself. You guys know I do consultations. I'm writing a book. Writing an ultimate keto book. And you can catch me on my Instagram, which is Stephanie Ketogenic, or my Facebook, which is Stephanie the Business Person, or my website, which is stephanieperson.com. I don't even know. Too many stupid, silly names. I really don't like social media. It's just a part of reaching people. It is what it is. Get on Dr. Oz. What's the forecast for the book? I can't tell you guys. I do have a deadline, but I cannot tell you because everybody will email me and be like, are you getting it done? Are you getting it done? I'll feel pressured. I'm like, how do I deal with the haters? Oh, I don't care. I don't care. They don't hate. What are they going to say? Oh, you're going to have a heart attack. Oh, like, you know, my peers around me are aging like corpses. Nobody's like, you know, people are unhealthy. And people don't mess with me. I'm too strong in my conviction of what I believe. Or what I've seen. I don't have to believe anything. I could just walk around with energy and that's good enough. I don't have haters. I get people on the internet that try to start stuff. I just don't care. Like somebody was like, I am doing a video. What Stephanie said about me. This is what this girl said. She said, what Stephanie said about me. I was like, who is she? I don't know who this person is. What I said about her. But what I say is a lot of people out there don't know the science or they haven't worked with a lot of people, so they don't really understand how important the inflammation and the thyroid and all these types of things and the leaky gut and the blood sugar numbers, that they don't understand this. And so she was like, and I am tagging Stephanie in this video so she'll watch it. I watched like 5 seconds. I was like, click, you want me to watch? I'm not watching. Thanks for telling me that. That's how I deal with the haters. They're not a part. They don't rub my hand when I'm having a bad day. You know what I mean? They're not there to go check my mama. Like, they don't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody thinks. It matters how you think. It matters how you feel. And when we learn that, we can get our stress down. We care too much about what other people think. It really doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not perfect. To some degree, I'm affected by the, you know, what modern society is pressuring us to a standard, right? But at the end of the day, I got to think about how I feel and not what the standard tells me how to feel. That's it. You guys, a lot of people look at me and they're like, oh, you know, she's never been fat. She hasn't had kids. This girl's never lived. Honey, I have lived. I have been through stuff. We all have. Do not think that this woman has not been through things. Because I have. If I sat down and told you my story, you'd be like, you'd be shocked. But see, the thing is I'm not going to let that stuff get me down. I pick my butt from off the ground and I pick myself up and I keep marching forward. That's what I do. And the older I get, the more I realize the only people that truly matter are the people that you love. That's who matters and what their opinion is. So as much as I love the adulation from society, it really matters how I view my own self-respect, self-value. That's what matters. That's what matters. So, you know, I live a simple life. I drive an old car. I could buy a new car. I don't care about that stuff. I don't care. I wear Forever 21 all day, every day. I should be their, like, model, right? The Forever 21 model. Because I just don't care about that stuff anymore, you guys. And you know, when I travel, I realize that whatever I have, which is not a lot, I'm so lucky to have whatever I have. That's what matters. So when I do keto, there's no complaints. I do whatever it takes to be healthy and to live a good life. So the haters, well, there are no haters. I design them in my own mind. They're not real. Only I can make haters real or not real. I probably would make a great mom. Thank you, though. HCl tablets can spike blood sugar. Yeah, for a short time. But if you've really got low stomach acid, they can help. I would start off half the dosage and work your way up. Sometimes you have to acclimatize yourself to these supplements. I'm not a supplement person. Sometimes they can be beneficial, like Lauricidin is great for candida. It's really, really good. Betaine, yeah, can be really great with pepsin. Can be really great. Sometimes enzymes can be good to cycle for the short run. Can be help to digest certain foods. I have a contact on my website, but that's for people inquiring about, you know, like I'm gonna speak at Paleo FX, you guys. They invited me finally to speak at Paleo FX. I'm so excited. That kind of stuff, but like questions, I'm not gonna answer them. I can't People email me hundreds of times a day on all my social media, and they get upset that I don't get back to them. Like, you know, you're not the only one that emailed me today. There's probably about 150 other people that did as well. Thank you so much, Kim Gibson. Thank you for the kind words. Because dairy has growth factors in it, right? Whey and casein, it irritates the gut lining, pokes holes in it. You know, they're connecting autism, violent behavior, impulsive behavior because of the inflammatory response from the whey and casein and yogurt and cheese especially and milk. That's why. Just Google it, Alina. It's they hate Jesus too. Well, I have nothing to do with Jesus, that's for sure. I think that we all criticize each other. Anybody who is, as a public figure, you're going to put yourself in front of the audience to be criticized and judged, and it's up to the individual and how they take that information. I just don't care anymore. At the age of 50, you're like, you've been through so much, you're like, I don't care. You hear or read a stupid comment, you're like, I'm actually starting to get bored. I'm like, like when I first was doing broadcasts, people were saying really bad things, but then I was like, they try to get your attention, but now I'm like, I'm kind of bored. Butter has very little of the proteins in it. That's why it's mostly fat. They skim the fat off. That's why butter is okay. Plus it's got CLAs and ALAs and the vitamin D, E, A, and K. It's fantastic if you don't have a histamine response to the butter. And some people have histamine in response to the butter because there's still little tiny amounts of those growth factors in the butter. So some people can't even eat butter. Best way to raise your testosterone and GH, sleep. Stabilize your blood sugar. Number one, use a glucometer and go to bed early, hit a circadian rhythm and get deep sleep, because between 9 p.m. and 12 midnight is when you absolutely have a release of growth hormone and testosterone, and we don't hit those windows. We're awake at that time. Our bodies do not know we live in the modern society. My body right now cannot understand there's a ring light on me. Right now my body thinks it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's not. That's the reason why our sex hormones have issues, because of toxins and xenoestrogens and blood sugar dysregulation and poor sleep. And that is the reason why. And stress. If you can do, you can do an expensive allergy test, but you can just see if you feel bloated, tired, itchy. You can test your blood sugar to see if it spikes after eating butter. That's how you can tell. I go out to eat with friends all the time. I just don't eat that stuff. Easy, done. These are first world problems. Like, oh my God, I'm going out. How do I not eat the pizza with my friends? I'm like, that's first world problems. I've seen people in poverty in like really poor countries like Cambodia. Ooh, when I went to Cambodia and these trips to Africa, I lived 2 months in a village in the middle of nowhere. They don't even have drinking water. You can't eat a pizza, honey. Come on. What's difficult in life is poor health and war and poverty. That's hard. Nothing else is. We design what's difficult in our mind. Okay? So this idea that, how am I going to be in socialize? Like, we design in our mind that we cannot socialize. That's the problem. So you have to redesign your thinking. Intermittent fasting and circadian rhythm. You never skip breakfast. John, watch the replay. I go and explain the whole thing about intermittent fasting, how your adrenals crank up, and that's the problem. It dysregulates your blood sugar, forces your cortisol too high, inverts your cortisol. It's a hot mess when you intermittent fast. If you intermittent fast, do nothing. Lie in a hammock, read a book. That's the only time you should fast, by skipping breakfast. Then you can fast all day long. Thank you, Tess. She says, keep the correct info coming. Thank you, Tess. Thoughts on intermittent fasting, circadian rhythm. Everyone seems to skip breakfast. And John, none of them have the business at 50. I keep seeing these guys on steroids and their skin looks like leather and like dried snake skin, and they've got like boulder shoulders and pointy nipples. I'm like, yo, bro, you on steroids. Like, come on now. My genetics, think about it, I'm 50. Somebody's like genetics versus keto. So if you look at my family, you'll see, like, there's a picture of me and all my cousins when I'm like 12, but you can see the difference between what happens to them at 50 right? Because my cousins are all my age group. And what happens to me, so keto has done a lot of this epigenetics. I've turned off a lot of bad genes and turned on a lot of great genes, which is why I've got freaking energy. Yes, that's what's up. Sorry, I'm so excited. Gosh, people keep asking me if I'm single. And I'm like, you couldn't handle me. No, I'm kidding. Look how hyper I am. My skin routine. I don't have a skin routine. It's all natural stuff, though. 48 reading glasses. Luckily, I still have 20/20 vision. Boop. I believe that keto might be able to, you know, being more like, you know, an adult again. Yes, that maybe we'll be able to repair our DNA and repair cells that we thought once could just die and then you age and that's it. So maybe me being on keto for 10 years, I think I'm the experiment to see like how long are my reproductive hormones. Clearly I have a menstrual cycle. Someone's like, do you have a menstrual cycle? I'm like, yeah, 28 days. Boop. I could predict my menstrual cycle 4 months from now. It'll start on the day I say it's going to start. That's how consistent my menstrual cycle is. And that is the reason why I'm not as estrogen dominant. As you guys can see, this is full natty. Natural, 50. I'm just excited. I'm not trying to be braggadocious. I'm just really excited to share this stuff with you. I do not recommend fiber supplements. They scratch your colon. Natural. Try to do everything without supplements first. Some people, everybody can process saturated fats. The only people who can't process saturated fats are people who've got low stomach acid and a sludged up gallbladder or stones or no gallbladder. Everybody else can process fats because we're made out of fat. Bink. We're made out of fat, protein, and water. So you can't not eat fat. You're going to have a die an early death. What's the difference between keto and Atkins? Well, Atkins fast. That's a trend. Look at the wording of it. It's like these trends. It's ridiculous. Keto's becoming a trend. So I mean, keto people are like, oh, are you doing the refeeded version of keto? I'm like, what are you talking about? Do people even talk about making ketones anymore? Viable ketones? They talk about the blood sugar? No. Nobody talks about that. No. Yes. Okay, guys, I better go soon. It's almost 6 o'clock, and I got some book writing to do. Because people are like, when's that book getting finished? And I'm like, I'm trying as hard as I can to get it finished. I love that you guys joined the broadcast, and I really appreciate it on a Friday night. Let me see. I watch your videos so much. You call me cuz. Awesome. What do I use on my face? Like, I'll use like a lotion with paraben free. I even forget the name of it, from Whole Foods, and shea butter. That's it. You know what I use on my face? Ketones. That's what I use on my face. A colon cleanse? Be careful with the cleanses. That's a long subject, right? Cleanses, liver cleanse, gallbladder cleanse. Excited for the book. So am I. When it's over, I'll be so happy. Please let it be over. Thank you, Kashif. Taking forever to adapt. You need more information. That's the problem. We're just not educated enough. I don't even know who Thomas DeLauer is. There's so many people on the internet now. When people are like, when I went on the internet, I don't know, this is about 10 years ago, and I was researching keto, there was nothing. There was like drops of information, and there wasn't that many people doing vlogs. Jimmy Moore was, Nora Gagaudis was, Finney and Volek were, and now there's so many. I started up, you know, talking about it on video, and I was doing keto for a long time, but I started talking about 6 years ago online, 5-6 years ago. To the toilet, taking bile salts, enzymes, HCl. Wait. Victoria, to be honest, you should schedule a consultation. I could probably pinpoint it if I talk to you. You might have a histamine issue, right? You maybe not be rotating of foods. It may not just be the digestion. It could be the coconut oil. I would actually have to talk to you to understand why you have loose stool on the macros that you're choosing. I don't know if you're drinking coffee or eating cheese or not. I don't know anything. So if your fats are coming out of you, it sounds like leaky gut big time. Then it's about sealing the gut lining, the gut wall. How long before gallbladder issues start getting better with digesting? You can start seeing things. Everything's about 3 months to a year. It just depends on if you're getting enough sleep, because the gallbladder is not going to heal if you don't sleep well, if you can't get your stress down. I mean, that's just it. If you can't get rest, you are not going to heal the gallbladder. The number one reason why people drop off of keto is because they do it to lose weight. And they don't do it for health benefits strictly. And so they're not willing to they don't eat enough fat, they eat too much protein, because, if you have low protein and low fat, you're starving. So people start creeping up and eating too much protein, get kidney stones and constipation, and the blood sugar spikes because they don't have enough fat in their diet. It's pretty much from not eating enough fat and eating too much protein, and not being disciplined and refeeding and drinking wine and not getting off the cheese and eating poor quality foods on keto and eating poor quality meats and all this kind of stuff. And they're eating all this poor quality foods and they're refeeding and they're not minding their macros, and then they feel bad, and that's why people stop doing it. And people who actually adapt, it's only about 5% of the people who actually adapt who are really disciplined, who want to learn all of the right information. Super excited, guys. Life is good. Do my fat so burn with a high rate? When do I eat 200 grams of fat per day? You eat it all day long, Jens. No, Janae. Sorry, can't see you. Janae. Why headachy? Oh, because you drop too much water. Put half a teaspoon of Himalayan salt in a glass of water, or Celtic salt. Drink it. The headache will go away. You're losing electrolytes. That's why. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you. How do I know how to get proper gut bacteria? It's a long process. It takes about a year. There's about 10 things you can do to seal the gut lining, and it takes time. And unfortunately, people do let's say 8 out of the 10 things, and that's not enough. You have to do 10 out of 10, and that's it. And no questions, and you have to be happy about it. You can't walk around being like, I'm so deprived. It's so difficult. You can't do that kind of stuff. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to end this broadcast if there's not more questions going on. Are you from Poland? Hi! I've never been to Poland. My cholesterol's gone up. Okay, your cholesterol. Learn about cholesterol. Who is it? Kennedy. Okay, first of all, did you do an LDL small particle test? B? No, you didn't do that. Well, you want your total cholesterol to go high, right? Because you want your HDLs to go real high. You have to, in the good LDLs, it's good and bad. So don't rely on these general cholesterol tests. It's ridiculous. Unless you're actually not adapting and you've created your CRP markers went up, and then your triglycerides rise and your HDLs drop. Gilberto, because keto is not about weight loss. You have to adapt. You have to adapt. You have to remember, you have to keto adapt. Your body needs to burn body fat when you sleep. Is it doing that? No. Blood sugar's too high. That's not why you're losing. The reason why you're not losing weight on keto is because your blood sugar's too high. Go get a glucometer and test your blood sugar. High blood sugar, high insulin, store fat. High blood sugar, high insulin, store fat. Low blood sugar, high ketones, sleep, burn body fat. Studying laboratory science. Cool. Energy. Veronica, that's the whole thing, right? Lowering the blood. Watch my videos, honey. Diaphragmatic breathe, meditate, chill out, turn off technology, exercise, get your macros on point, change your thinking, there's a million things, get all the toxins out of your body. Heal the liver and the kidneys and the gut. It's not the adrenaline, it's that you don't want to constantly secrete adrenaline. Lowering your blood sugar is you don't just lower blood sugar, you have to raise ketones too. It's both, and they must be in a balance. Oh my God, somebody wrote. Hi, Sammy. Thank you, Primal Fire. Appreciate it. Thanks. I'm really silly and I'm really sarcastic sometimes, and sometimes they mesh. Being on the internet is a weird place to be. Like, the real Stephanie is sometimes like this, often not like this. Raising ketones is, again, don't have too much protein. It's like a real dumb answer is like eat a lot of fat and the right kinds of fat, and make sure that it's pastured and it's good quality and it's animal fat. Paleo FX. I don't know. I gotta go check. They just sent me an email today saying, "We are so happy that we have chosen you to speak at Paleo FX's first keto and paleo conference." I'm so excited. I've been waiting to be invited to this, and finally, yes, people still remember me amongst all the minutiae of all this stuff on the internet. This is what you saw me the first time you're going to subscribe. Thank you, Sammy. Thank you. No. What causes, somebody's like, can you eat too much fat and cause gallstones? No, what causes gallstones is not the fat. It's carbs. It's called glycation end product, ages, and it creates a glycation factor in the cells of the gallbladder, so the cells get sticky. The gallbladder is meant to release salts, right? The liver is releasing salts into the gallbladder. Gallbladder releases fats, salts to break down the fat so it can fit into the bloodstream. We were designed to eat fat. As hunter-gatherers, we ate eyes, brain, tongue. The organ meats are all high fat. You must be able to eat high fat to survive with the fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin D, E, A, and K, and all this conjugated linoleic acid, and all these types of omega-3s that are really important in high-fat foods that are not in carbohydrates. Hello? Yeah, I'm really silly, Primal Fire. I can get really, really silly. I got a really sarcastic mouth, but I can also be humble. Being on the internet, I mean, I'm talking to my freaking cell phone, for frack's sake. Hemp oil. Some people have a histamine intolerance, can tolerate hemp oil, and some people get really sick. Some people have a really adverse allergic reaction to hemp oil, so we got to be careful with general statements. Thank you, Jedi Run. No, Veronica, you don't. If you have gallstones, that happened a long time ago. You just notice them when you do keto because you need a gallbladder to break down fats. If you have gallstones, that happened a long time ago, honey. Long time ago. Keto doesn't create the gallstones. They were already there. Same thing with the thyroid problem or low T or high estrogen. I don't know about the brand, Abraham, as far as olive oil in a can. It's not stable, but you know, if your liver, kidney is functioning, you can deal with the toxins of free radicals. We have to. I live in LA. Oh, my first troll. The comment's so boring too. This troll comment. It's like a 2-year-old made it. No, like a 13-year-old. All right. Bye bye. Boop. Okay. Now let's continue on. Let's see. How can you lose in a month? Sammy, you have to adapt. You can't lose. If you've got like leptin resistance, if you've got a lot of estrogen, you ain't losing nothing. You're losing water. Almonds are high in plant chemicals. Get rid of it. Yogurt, no. No yogurt. Sparkling water's fine. You love my accent? Like, oh my god, I'm so crazy. You love my little Kim Kardashian accent. California draw. Yeah, bro. Actually, I lived in Sweden. Jag bodde i Sverige många år. Eller många år sen. Så när jag flyttade tillbaka till USA, jag pratade med en dialekt. Det var absolut konstigt. Goodbye, yogurt. Plus, it's from sick cows that are GMO fed with steroids. Boop! Yes, Veronica, a lot of people have egg intolerance because the whites are to protect the fetus. That's why wolves and dogs don't eat the whites when they break into a chicken coop. They eat the yolk because that is less of these proteins that irritate the body. Organ meats, yes. No, organ meats. What about organ meats? Great. Pastured, right? Healthy, no corn, no steroids. The best food I ate in Sweden? Sorry, they're not meant to be for their fish is good. I was never really into Swedish food, I'm not gonna lie. No, I was more like into Italian food and Spanish food, you know what I'm saying? Wasn't really into Swedish food even though I live there. 38-year-old obese trucker, 410 that, works, blah, blah, blah. We see I'm staying around 100 grams of protein, 10 grams of carbs, and 170 grams. Your fat's way too low. Okay, your fats are disgustingly low. Not you're disgusting, but the fats are disgustingly low. Your protein's too high. You're not going to adapt on those macros. Sorry. Joseph, I can't say what I eat in a day because it's irrelevant. I'm ketotic. If you followed what I followed, you'd probably have physiological insulin resistance response. I've been doing this for so many, many years, so you can't follow. There's like a beginner way to do keto, and I'm not a beginner. So beginners eat different from like OGs. You really need a friend. I think we all need friends. We all need companionship. Everybody does. Can you protein adapt? That's a weird question. No, you can't. What? You can't eat it. What's a weird question? Can you eat everything on the same day? What? Watch my videos every day. Thank you to Tommy Becker? I don't know. Okay, so my knee hurts, my feet hurt. You guys know I used to be a professional skateboarder. I've had 10 surgeries on my left knee. I can't run, jump, lunge, or squat. But I have built these glutes. Let me tell you, I've built the glutes. Let me see. And quads and everything. I have, see that? See that? I'm not trying to be weird. I'm just saying. Can't run, jump. I don't sit there and do deadlifts all day long. When I see these girls doing deadlifts, I'm like, you guys, use your entire body. Stop just doing deadlifts at the gym, girls. Use the whole body. Hey, guys. For those who are in the chat that joined recently, if you don't mind giving a thumbs up and liking this broadcast so I know that you guys want me to do more, please like up this broadcast. It helps to show, create more visibility for me on YouTube, and that's what we have to do when we do the social media stuff. Thank you, Veronica. I appreciate it. So what is it? John says, yo, what up, Stephanie? No, you don't need creatine. Just eat grass-fed beef. I went up 15 pounds on keto when I ate grass-fed beef. Good night, guys. Thank you so much for joining the broadcast. You guys know I'm writing Ultimate Keto book. That's what I got to say in these broadcasts. And I'm trying not to be a car salesman. This is me at the age of 50. I'm loving life, and I want you guys to love life too. And we need to be more connected as a society. Yes, we do. And yeah, if you guys want to learn more, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been working with thousands of people, and it really is important, everything you do. And if you don't necessarily believe in what I'm saying, go out and do your research, and never believe any one person. You have to do a collection of, like what I did. I researched, and then I started putting the puzzle pieces together. Then I started coaching people, and then I started learning and learning and learning and learning and learning. I love it when people are like, 50, no way. I'm like, oh, it's feeding my ego. Yes. I was so afraid to say my age as I got into my 40s, and one day I was like, Steph, like, don't try to pretend like you're not in your 30s or 20s anymore. Just say your age and get on with it. So now I'm 50, so I can't even pretend. I'm on the internet. It is there. There is no lying. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you joining the broadcast today. So have a wonderful night, and I'm going to eat because my food is going to burn soon if I don't get to it. You have to vary your foods. You never eat the same amount of food. You have to rotate, or develop gut problems. Thanks, guys. Thank you. You're 16, feeling better than ever on keto. Yes, Joanna. Tell them. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining this broadcast, and it's time for me to be out because it's 6 o'clock and I got some writing to do because you know I got to go to bed by 9:30. Yep. Used to go to bed like 1, 2 a.m. I stopped that. 9:30, 5:30. What? That's a part of feeling great. Go to bed early if you don't have a night shift job. Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you for joining the broadcast. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate it so much. And I'm out. Bye, guys. Till next time, you can go to my Facebook, which is Stephanie Ketogenic. No, that's my Instagram. Or my Facebook, Stephanie the Business Person. Or just keep watching the YouTube videos. There's a lot of information there, guys. And I'm out. Bye. Yay, yay, yay. Thank you. I can't wait for the book to be finished too because I'm tired of writing it. I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired of writing it. Blech. Bye guys. Thank you from Australia. G'day, mate. 9:30. Yes, 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 yes. Adios. Yes. Hey, do. And I'm out. Bye guys.